Hey, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Daddy D. So yeah, today, if you read by the title of this video, Tobe Nwigue won't be a slave anymore, okay? Now you're probably thinking, that's a crazy title. What did I just click on? Stay with me. Let's just get right into the video. Who is in these videos? It's mostly Tobe, who is, by the way, a African artist, but he's not, he doesn't do like Afro beats or anything. He's mostly of a rap artist. Really not much else to get into because the rest of this video is gonna get into his content. So mostly Tobe or multiple people in his videos. Usually background dancers, the usual, whatever you would have in a normal music video. He probably has it. And then also almost in every frame, Tobe has had more than 2 people, usually. And large groups are very common in his videos, even in his older media. And also, as time progressed, his wife shows up, which her name is Fat Nwigue. Interesting name as far as I'm concerned. In almost every new video, along with his children. I think he has about 2 or 3. And they even have a series where the relationship begins to blossom and soon transitions to marriage and conception, which is part of his repertoire when it comes to his rap lyrics and other things like that. And if he has a guest featuring in there, obviously they'll be featured in the video as well. Now, let's move on to what? Nice cars, large groups of people dressed in white or pastel colors, which mostly is in his newer content, but he had nicer cars and big houses and things like that in his older music videos as he was starting out. And for his older, kind of like later 2010 videos, most of that stuff still applied, but the quality's less clear video-wise, or the quality in the products, if you really want to get technical. He also does not have as many matching colors or simple tones, proper attire for formal dress wear, things like that. They also have whatever you would consider to be stereotypical for black people, such as grill, natural hair, urban choreography, street dancing, and also there are women who have African hairdresses and scarves on their heads, dashikis. The outfits in the videos are also very conservative in newer and old. The people stand still quite often in his videos as well. If you watched my pglang video, you could say that's a big similarity to pglang music videos. While they do stand still in some parts of the video, they also do move erratically, flailing arms, interpretive dance, whatever you can think of, they probably do it. Now for props and what's going on in the music video, which is what I just was talking about, there's a very low amount of props in his videos, and you'll see a piano, maybe a couple staircases, like platforms. Now as for his music video style, he goes for a grainy footage resolution type of thing, similar to pglang or even Solange or Beyonce, just something like that, like a higher grade of production as his videos got more expensive, with mid or higher saturation. His angles for the most part are upward and not straightforward, so you won't really see a full on like straight to your face shot. Most of the shots are actually from an angle, and aerial shots is mostly what said shots are. There is a lot of choreo in his music videos that seem almost in a way praise worship like church. The clothes make it seem that way as well, since they're so conservative and to display purity almost, even if the music itself, the instrumental, wouldn't be deemed as pure or in some way Christ-like. Where exactly are these videos? So for the most part, these videos are located in wooded areas, park, basketball courts, grassy fields, or just a natural grassy background. Sometimes even no background, just like white or something. So he's kind of like mostly of an outdoors kind of person, it seems like, because most of his settings are outside. Also in his newest project, he has this one specific mansion and its courtyard. They're never really inside of the mansion, but the mansion itself and everything around it is used quite often, which also looks like a plantation house almost to some degree, which I find interesting. Now with his music, unlike Solange or Kendrick's videos, you really don't get a sense of dread or happiness from his music videos. Like, it's not one-sided, but with his videos I feel in between, almost like there isn't a real way to feel about them because it could fluctuate at any time. Even with the music being a tad bit uncomfortable or extreme, like the subject matter or even the beat, I still don't really have a true feeling about any of his music or his videos because sometimes I'm kind of just left amazed. This is gonna probably be the shortest one before the theory. For the most part, it's during the day. Only so occasionally is it ever nighttime. If it's ever nighttime, it's in like one video, which is Lord Forgive Me. Now, without further ado, what's the theory? Why am I talking about him not wanting to be a slave? So I believe that Tobe is trying to reclaim the stereotypes from which his people were called out or called from their oppressors. In other words, he's trying to reclaim the purity of which was taken from black people and specifically Africans, and trying to save them from slavery of which they were captured in. So basically whichever tribes or whomever, because it also could pertain to what certain clothes he's wearing, like the dashiki or these certain garments that he has on in his videos, culture and other things aside. Now, if you've looked at his older videos, if you've ever seen any of his older content, he always talked about prosperity, and though that part was good, it was less conservative than it is now, and it's not very concealed or just like put away, almost like boastful in a way. Most of the time it was shoved in your face. Take his video name I'm On, for example. He buys his mom a house and a car, but it's more to the point and a lot quicker. He probably figured that it was just not the true way to display change. Thus he went into a more simplistic way of expressing it, which if someone tells you I bought my mom a house and a car, that's simplistic, right? So before he changed, everything was detailed in the wrong way. Lack of detail, or detail that's kind of like overly boastful. This is the reason why the colors in his newer media are so pale and pastel, because he had more like darker clothes or multicolored kind of, but they were more of like the aggressive types of colors, not really as angelic or soft as pastel or pale, and why the dancing and choreography is praised like, unlike some of his older videos where the dancing was kind of like more extreme or not even ratchet, just more like party like. That's why I believe the house that he filmed in most of his newest videos, or the courtyard that it has, or the gardens, or anything like that, the reason why I think he filmed that is to display his freedom from what he talked about before, and also being a slave to, let's say, a prosperity gospel, something that doesn't really benefit you by your soul, or something that like just doesn't give you really any substance, if you will. That's why even some of the women and even the men have scars on their heads, head wraps in these plantation areas. There are also a lot of people with natural hair in these videos, which, if you know, that wasn't very liked among the masters of these plantations. I just feel like with his music and with other content in his videos and his likeness, I feel like he wants to bring back the urban / African cultural feel that was lost years ago, centuries ago, which I feel is what makes our people pure. And I'm pretty sure he probably thinks that way, sorta. Like, I believe in our creativity is what makes us pure. With creativity comes a lot of good things. I think we all can agree. But at the same time, even when he has this urban feel in his videos, because since it's so frowned upon, he still wants to bring the even more positive effects or aspects of our community, such as family or the meaning of family. Hence why his family is in his music videos. I think it's wonderful. I feel, and it's shown, that that's been lost quite a bit in the black community, and it really needs to get talked about more. And the things that are negative in his videos, such as in one video he has people with guns toting, with Fat Nwigue, they have people with machine guns in the back, or a talk of violence like, let someone touch my daughter or my son.
I don't play about my 2 little daughters or my son, or my little baby that's about to come.
On my mama, I'm prepared to die. Only for my baby mama and my babies. It get brazy if you step across that line. Cause hell, if I told that iron and you touch any one of mine, bullets come out your spine.
Or even violence by hands. They're said and shown as warnings instead of threats. They're not really shown to be menacing per se, but it is a precautionary thing.
Other than that, I keep it peaceful. I won't leave you in pieces if I got the piece.
Also, no matter what the setting is, the people in the video will still find a way to express themselves, whether it's in the dark, in the light, or between. It doesn't matter what the setting is, the vibes are still going to be the same. In a lot of his videos, he also tends to do what I could only describe as a grill pose, like I think Duke Dennis, if you will. The hand sign is called the shaka pose, which I've seen people in Hawaii do it. Not sure if it's completely Hawaiian specifically, but that's what my research has shown me. It's supposed to mean aloha, and it also means, at least in Hawaii standards, to be no reason to worry. It means to not worry, a hakuna matata, or just not to rush into things. This could mean that Tobe wants to change the purity to come slowly so then it has an impact. And the fact that the pose is pointed towards the grills in his mouth, or at least one finger is, it shows that he wants to come to a culture or bring a culture that was stolen from his people in a way that shows, let's not worry about, this sounds like such a reach, but it sounds like, or seems like to me, let's not rush into building our community back, or something like that. He also wraps his prosperity and better lives for his generations to come ahead, while displaying the luxury of which he wishes for all his people. But nowadays in his newer videos, it's not displayed in a way where it's pompous, so it works a lot better. One of the best examples of that last passage is in his song Mini Me, featuring Dame Dalla and his wife. As for the conservative nature of the outfits in his video, that makes his content and his message more understandable and respectable. It even gives me the idea that he's a godly man, since the Bible states that modesty among people is a way to get to know God, which is true. Now, to speak on the slave aspect a bit further, it's kind of simple to explain, but the conservative look and the more holier approach that he takes is to counteract the way that masters acted in the 1800s. So how a slave master could use the Bible or use religion to have his own way with his slaves or anything like that, or try to act holier than thou because he's doing what he thinks in his mind is right. He's basically flipping that on its head. Also, this approach is to go against the opposition that's in the music industry, since in most cases you can be a slave to your contract, since modern slavery in America and regular slavery is in different countries, but modern slavery as of US standards is still a thing. You can still be a slave to a contract of music, modeling even, and other industries that I rather not speak on. You could be a slave to anything like that, especially if you are binded, or you will get sued if you leave or get arrested. This goes against the music industry in a way. I'm not sure if he's signed to something specific, but I think he is. But regardless, I feel like it definitely is a jab at that. Because he's so free and family oriented in these videos, it makes it seem like he's trying to rewrite the narrative that's plagued the Black community for years as being a slave to the masses, attention, whatever's hurting the community, he's trying to get rid of that. And to me, I believe that that's fantastic. So realistically, that's really all I could really think of when he said he didn't want to be a slave. And I mean, his videos show that as to be a bright, shining example. I don't really see anything else other than that. And that's just me being honest.
Round here, if it smell funny, onions getting peeled.
I think Tobe has a very inventive approach because his music is very different and the messaging is even better. He's a fantastic artist, and I think it could captivate a lot bigger of an audience than he has right now. Regardless of the beat or the delivery, the dialogue that he gives definitely is something to listen to, and I think it's worth listening to. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, while you're here, give it a share. I just want to make people think more. So if this interested you, please send it to someone who this might interest as well. I appreciate all of you, and I will see all of you beautiful people in the next video. Bye!